Okay, Charity. Charity, you can pray for us.
Almighty Father, King of Kings, I thank you for this day. I thank you that you have protected us and brought us to this day. Oh Lord, I thank you that you have enabled us to be able to learn. Almighty Father, thank you for all that we have learned, King of Kings. And Lord, I ask that we don't have any internet disturbances, Lord, so that all our lessons go well, King of Kings. And I ask that you may protect our parents, protect us all, and also protect our teachers so that they may come back and teach us. I prayed all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Charity. Good morning once again, girls who have just joined us. So it's already past time. I'm going to go straight to the point. Today we are going to look at two aspects. We are going to look at functional writing, and after that, Teacher Angela will come in and talk about grammar. Okay.
Yes, teacher.
So sorry about that. So if I may ask, last week we looked at letter writing. So I'm going to request someone to just take us through the different steps taken when writing an official letter. We looked at letter writing, so someone is going to help us take us through what we follow when writing a letter. By show of hand, anyone who can remind us? Daphne.
When writing a letter, the first step taken is to write the sender's address, which is, let me say, if you use Gaza High School, comma, Gayaza, comma,
Okay.
PO Box, let me say 256, then comma, then Gayaza.
Okay.
It should be in a chanting kind of way. Then after you write the date, you skip one line and write the date. Then after the date, you don't skip a line and write the receiver's address.
Daphne, we skip a line and that is the last one.
Okay, you skip a line and write the receiver's address. Let me say if you're writing to the headmistress, comma, then Gayaza High School, comma, PO Box. Then you write Gayaza, but then it should be in a box form, not slanting. Then after writing, block, yes. After writing the receiver's address, you don't skip a line, and then after you write, let me say, dear madam. According to what we learned last time, we were writing an application letter. So after dear madam, comma, after the comma, but on the next line, you write the reason. Let me say application for a vacancy at Gaza High School in capital letters.
Okay, thank you so much. So thank you, and I have really liked the way you have taken us through even looking at the punctuation. That's really good. So I'm going to get another person to continue from where she has stopped, from where Daphne has stopped. Okay, any other person to add on what Daphne has said? After the reference, what do we do? Okay, Rebecca Faith.
After the reference, we start writing the body to the letter, which has to include
before the body.
Before the body, you have to
write the introduction.
Write the introduction.
Okay. After the introduction,
the introduction, you write the body, which has to give details about yourself, like your age, your qualifications. And thereafter, you go to the conclusion, where you have to be respectful but also optimistic in the same way. You can't tell them that you can't be like, you have to be kind and say, I would really be glad if you reply to my application. But you can't say, I want to hear from you or anything. You just have to be kind and optimistic. Then you go to the referees in case any are needed, and then you sign off at the right-hand side of the page.
Talk about signing off, Amelia Nadunga. Signing off. Thank you so much, Rebecca. That is very good. So Amelia, talk about signing off. Amelia is not there. Lindsay. Okay, Amelia is back. Amelia.
Write you write the name first.
Come again, please, Amelia.
You write the signature first, then you write your name last.
Okay, thank you so much. There is something you have missed. Maybe Jovia would wants to add on what you've said. Jovia.
Shall you write yours faithfully if you've used like the title to address the person? But if you know the name, you can write yours sincerely. Then after you write your signature and put a comma. Then after you write your name, then you put a full stop. Your name in capital letters.
But for a signature after you. Okay, thank you so much. So today we are just going to another time.
Excuse me, teacher.
Letter writing. So okay, thank you so much.
Excuse me, teacher.
Letter, though it is it can still be an informal. We are going to look at writing. So there we are.
So I have a question.
So we are going to look at okay.
So I have a question.
Writing an apology letter. Devin, do you have this? Your hand is up. Later. I know most of us have ever. My
Jailbreaking.
Miss, we can't hear you.
sorry about that. Network issues, but I was still saying that most of us have ever apologized. So we are going to look at, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, yes. So we are, okay, thank you so much. So we are going to look at how to write an apology letter, but at this time, we are going to look at a formal letter. However, if you're apologizing to a friend or a relative, you can still use the same content, but of course, looking at the format, remember an informal letter does not have the receiver's address, will not have the reference, okay, and the language will change, okay. But today we are going to focus on formal letter. In case you are apologizing to a person who is in office, maybe to the teacher, maybe to the head teacher, maybe to the teacher, no, is in office. How would you write such a letter? Okay. So when you look at that, we say, of course, apologize is to express regret for something that one has done. The moment you say write an apology letter, the moment you say you are apologizing, it means you're saying that you are sorry. So we need to show that in our letter. You made a mistake and now you're saying sorry, you are apologizing. So you shouldn't write an apology letter and then you say, I didn't do such a thing, it was a lie, such people do not just like me. No, then you're not apologizing. Okay. So when apologizing, it is important to realize that one is at fault and asks to be pardoned. We can either apologize to a loved one through writing an informal letter, that's what we said, or to an office through an official letter. So it will depend on the person you are writing to. The content for both formal and informal apology letter is similar. What differs is the format and the language when writing the two different letters. That's what I said. That when you're writing an informal letter and it is an apology, you just have the the sender's address, and you write dear, maybe dear uncle, and then you go to the introduction body and the conclusion. But if it is a formal letter, we looked at formal letters. So today, I don't have notes on format, but we are just going to look at the letter itself, because we looked at the content, because we looked at the format last week. Okay, so for formal letters, when you're writing an apology letter and you've already written your sender's address, the receiver's address, the salutation, the reference, then what you write first is the introduction. Okay, and the introduction, we have said that you give a reason why you are writing the letter. That is to say, I have written this letter to apologize for my mistake, something of that kind. Then after that, we shall have the body. Okay, we are going to, of course, you express your apology. Okay, you will give an explanation of what really happened. Okay, and you should show that you are sorry and promise to be a changed person or to change. Okay, the moment you say I'm sorry, yes, you need to make a commitment, kind of. Maybe I promise never to do such a mistake again, or I promise to be a changed person from today henceforth. Okay, that will be our body. Okay, most of the focus will be put on the explanation, what really happened. You're saying that it's like giving a statement. What kind of? Okay, so that's, we should be a bit detailed, but not, of course, too detailed as if you're writing a composition. Okay, so that's where we shall scoop most of the marks. And after that, we shall conclude our letter. By, of course, whenever you show that optimistic, that you're looking forward to having maybe to getting up you are writing too. So that is the conclusion. Someone has sent a message in the chat. Need and needn't notes, but we sent those notes. I sent all that. I normally send notes on the Google Classroom most of the time. So you check there. So we are going to have an example. We are going to have an example of an apology letter. We're a bit brief because we have already done letter writing last week, and we know most
Teacher,
of the we are looking at. Yes.
I beg your pardon. Okay, like where exactly do we skip the lines? Because last time they told us to skip the line after writing the sender's address and between the receiver's address and the dear. So then this other time you say that we skip a line. So I don't know.
At least I remember what I said. Jovia, do you want to answer her?
No, I had a question.
Okay,
So
let me
when-
first answer. Give me a minute, please. Maybe someone would want to give to answer that. Amelia, do you want to answer that? Okay, Amelia's hand is up. So this is what I said last week. I said that you skip a line. I said that.
Teacher, you said that.
Teacher, you're breaking.
Amelia, we can't get you, maybe network issue. Okay, Audrey, do you want to say something? Okay, let me answer. Let me give an answer. So this is what I said. I said you skip a line after the receiver's address. Sorry, the sender's address. Between between the sender's address and the date. That is one line. And another line we skip is between the date and the receiver's address. Those are the two lines we skip. Between the sender's address and the receiver's address, and again between the sender's address and the date, and then between the date and the receiver's address. Those are the two lines we skip.
Pardon?
Okay, Jovia.
Thank you, teacher.
Teacher, if you have a lot of content in your body,
Jovia.
you summarize it
Okay,
in
we
only
skip a
one
line.
paragraph, or you can like use more than one paragraph.
So sorry, Jovia.
Yes, teacher. Teacher, if you
Your
have
question?
if you have a lot of content in your body, do you summarize it in only one paragraph, or you can write it in more than one paragraph?
Have a lot to say. What you can, but still you shouldn't be too wordy. You're not going to have a letter on 2 pages. No, we say that A good letter should be presented. Think about pages when writing a letter. Okay, but you can have 2 paragraphs for the body. It is very okay, very okay. Or you can have 1 or 2. It is very okay. We are not saying that strictly it should be 1 paragraph. No, you can have 2 or 1, depending on the Mutonyi.
Teacher,
Esther?
I'm confused because somewhere you say that the address should be written in block style. Is that only the receiver's address? I just want to understand that better.
Yes, it's only the receiver. Then for the sender's address, it should be slanting. The block is most all the words are from the margin. It's block. Then slanting is what we see there. Block, all the words are from the margin.
So the receiver's
Okay.
address is not supposed
The
to be block.
receiver's address is block. Yes, it's supposed to be block, as you can see it there. So we have a question. You have okay. You have missed lessons. That is our example. Imagine you missed the online English lesson and did not communicate to the class teacher in time about it. Write a letter to her apologizing for that offense. Okay, so there, if you're to make your plan, there are 2 issues you need to look at. First and foremost, you missed a lesson. Secondly, you did not communicate. You missed a lesson and you did not communicate. So we have 2 aspects we need to look at. That is very, very important. You need to plan. You need to read the question and understand it. Understand each and every word that is written there so that you don't leave out any mark. Remember, we are writing or we are answering our question to get 20 out of 20. Okay, so that those are 2 aspects. You did not communicate, you missed an online lesson. So you're going to apologize. Then it is supposed to be the St. Cato Secondary School. Remember, we say that we are not using names of our schools, so that's why I'm not using Gayaza High School. I think of another name. What we are looking at is the address. Do you have an address? That is all. So St. Cato Secondary School, PO Box, date. That is our date. That is our date. So after that, we shall skip a line and write the receiver's address. We are writing to the class teacher, St. Cato Secondary School, PO Box 36, Kampala. Then we skip a line again. That will be the end of skipping lines. And then we shall have dear Madam. Okay, this time we are going to have Madam, but the dear is from the margin. Then below the Madam or below the comma is where we shall write our reference. Why are we writing our letter? Or why am I writing my letter? I'm writing my letter to apologize for missing the online lessons or online lesson, online English lesson. That is the main reason.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
teacher,
Daniela.
do you skip a line after writing the receiver's address?
We don't skip line. We don't skip a line again.
Excuse me.
Yes, Lindsay.
Are there two addresses again here? Like the sender's address and addressee's address? Oh, okay.
Which letter are we writing, Lindsay? Lindsay, which letter are we writing? Apology letter. Which kind of letter is an apology? Is it an official or friendly? It is a formal letter, not so? And right from the start, we've been saying that formal letters have two addresses.
Excuse me, teacher.
So that's what we are doing here. We have the address of the person. We are writing Nyakuchira.
So
Helen?
I wanted to, yes, teacher. I wanted to ask about the reason. So when it's in capital letters, do we not underline it?
We don't underline. Next,
Okay, thank you.
Joan Natukonda. You're welcome. Joan?
Yes, teacher. I'm a bit confused. As if you said that after the receiver's address, you skip a line, then you write the salutation.
No, we don't. Let's not be confused about the skipping of lines. I wouldn't want, just know you're going to skip 2 lines, and that is it. Have it, period. The rest will be, only two lines are skipped, only. Okay. So our reference is there, and then afterwards we have to go to the introduction. I humbly apologize for missing the online lesson which happened on 14th November 2021. That can be our simple introduction. And after that, we say that the body is where we shall have most of the aspects to be considered. So we shall have, maybe you can start missing that lesson was not intentional, okay? It happened because now you're giving an explanation. What happened? Okay, it happened because my uncle had not paid my online fees. In this way, it was impossible for me to join that class. Another issue is that I could not contact you in time because I did not have your telephone number. Okay, so we are looking at the reason as to why you did not attend the online lesson, and another reason why you did not contact the teacher in time. But you can present it in your own way. There are so many reasons as to why someone would miss an online lesson, and so many reasons why someone would not contact or call the teacher in charge. Let me get some examples from you. What would be the reason why someone can miss an online lesson? We need to look at other examples we can consider. Akelo?
I think when they do not have internet, they're in a place that doesn't have internet reception.
Okay, the internet connection in our place is a bit unstable, so it was a bit difficult for me to join the online lesson. That is very good. Hashona, which reason can you give?
Maybe my parents didn't have money to pay for data, and so I couldn't join the lesson.
My parents did not have money. Very good. So why wouldn't you contact the teacher in time about missing the online lesson? Ahumuza Jolie, which reason can you give for not contacting the teacher?
Like when you don't have the number of the teacher.
You don't have the number. Thank you for very much. I'm going to get the last one. Bridget Namudu.
Her number is not available. Like it was off.
Bridget. Lauren.
When electricity went and they forgot to charge the phone the previous night and then they blackout, so you can't attend the lesson or call the teacher.
Electricity problems because my phone wasn't charged. So in that way, I could not attend the online lessons and at the same time call you to inform you about that problem or that issue. Thank you so much. So you should always present your aspects in that way, okay? Present, give a reason why you had or you committed such a mistake, okay? So that is the reason. So we need to accept our mistake. And by accepting, we are saying that I am very sorry and I am the one to blame. You can put the blame on me, okay? So in that way, it shows that you're really humble and you are really sorry. And you're really asking the other person to forgive you. You have realized your mistake and you're saying that you are sorry. After all, you are writing an apology later. So after that, you're going to make a commitment. I have all person and take the I have also got your telephone number from Uncle so that I can always contact you in case of an emergency or any important communication. Okay, so in that way, it shows, it gives the other person who is reading or the class teacher that at least this person has made a promise that he will or she will not do such a mistake again. Okay, you have a commitment. Okay, I promise not to do it again. I promise to always be on time. I promise to always ask my uncle for the online lesson fee so that it can be paid on time, something of that kind. There are so many ways you can present your commitment, okay? So after that, we can give a positive lines. We were typing there. That's why you can see that there is a space skip. But when you're writing in ink, you're not supposed to skip lines other than the 2 lines we talked about. So you're going to sign off yours faithfully, comma, because we used Madam for our salutation. And then we sign off, that is Atwine Harmony, and our name in capital letters, Atwine Harmony, full stop. Okay, so it's exactly 10 minutes past 11. I'm going to have only 2 questions, then Teacher Angela will come in. Only 2 questions if there is any, but if there isn't, let me look at the chat and see. When you're writing to the officer in charge of elections, do you write it as the officer in charge of elections? So we don't skip a line before the salutation. We don't skip a line before the salutation. Yes, we don't. That is true. So if there isn't any other question, thank you so much. So Teacher Angela.
Teacher?
Yes?
Must the reference have a full stop?
The reference. It might not. It might not.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Teacher
wait,
Angela.
Teacher, can you write just one reason for your apology? Because you don't have like most of like many reasons. You just have like you couldn't, the power was gone, and that was all.
You can have one reason. It is okay. You can have one reason. Akelo, Daniela.
Teacher.
As Teacher Angela prepares her slides, yes?
Teacher, in the letter you talked about it being, like as you're writing your letter, you talk about it being your fault. But say you're in a position that you feel sick, it's not like you chose to fall sick. So is there a better way to put it?
You can still explain. You apologize for missing. You're not apologizing for your explanation. You're apologizing for not attending the lesson. Okay, so in that way, you still give your explanation as to why you did not attend the lesson. You get the point, and you say that maybe I did not attend the online lesson because I fell sick and didn't communicate in time. Okay. So thank you so much, Teacher Angela. Over to you.
Thank you, Teacher Irene. And good morning, girls.
Good morning, teacher.
Good morning, teacher.
All right. So that was the apology letter. And please keep at the back of your mind the key aspects to consider. So we want to use the rest of the minutes to look at some grammar, some little grammar, and it is going to be the what clause or what clauses. In the interest of time, we are going to be a little fast. So when do we use the what clauses? We know what makes a sentence. It is a word, and several words make a phrase, and more words make a clause. A clause will always hold more meaning compared to the phrase. And one clause or two clauses make a sentence. So we're going to look at the what clauses and how we use them. All right. So what clauses are commonly used to put special emphasis on the subject? Just for oh, someone is putting up a hand. Okay, let us first handle this, then we shall look at all the hands, all the queries after. So the what clause is used to put emphasis on the subject. When we have a sentence, the sentence is basically or typically made up of a subject, a verb, and an object. Kadu likes rice. So Kadu is the subject, likes is the verb, and rice is the object. So that is the typical format of a sentence. The subject can be one word, Kadu. The subject can be a phrase, and sometimes it can be a clause. So the subject is the doer of the action. Then the verb will tell us what is being done. And then the object is the sufferer of the action. We know that. That is senior one work. Now, what clauses can be used to put emphasis on the subject, on what is being talked about? For example, their unexpected refusal caused the difficulty. So what are they talking about? Their unexpected refusal caused the difficulty. So the subject there is their unexpected refusal. Caused is the verb, then the difficulty is the object, or maybe not, actually it's the object, the result. So we can use a what clause there and say, what caused the difficulty was their unexpected refusal. So we are highlighting the subject and we emphasize it by using the what, the unexpected refusal, because the difficulty is a little plain. It doesn't really put emphasis on anything. But when we say what caused the difficulty was their unexpected refusal. So here, the what clause is used to emphasize what caused the difficulty, which is their unexpected refusal. So basically, in our rewrite questions, we shall be called upon to rewrite using the what clause. Rewrite beginning with what? And you're going to be rewriting these sentences several times when you come across them in the exam. We have another example there. Not courage, but fear drove him into battle. Not courage, but fear drove him into battle. We shall rewrite with the what clause and say, what drove him into battle wasn't courage, but fear. What drove him into battle wasn't courage, but fear. It is very simple. We are rewriting such sentences using the what clause, and it is helping us put emphasis on the subject, on what is being talked about. On the other hand, sometimes it is used to put special emphasis on the object, not the subject this time. For example, you need a rest. You is the subject, need is the verb, arrest is the object. So we want to put emphasis on the object, what this person needs. So you need a rest. We can tell you here to write beginning with what. So you shall rewrite and say, what you need is a rest. So what you need is a rest. So we are not, this time we are not emphasizing the subject, you, but we are emphasizing the object, what you need. So what you need is a rest. So we have another example, number 2. I'm afraid that there will be a strike. I'm afraid that there will be a strike. We can write beginning with what and say, what I'm afraid of is that there will be a strike. What I'm afraid of is that there will be a strike. So you're emphasizing the object in the sentence, and you're basically rewriting with what, which is making it a what clause. Okay, number 3, she needs a husband. She, subject, needs, verb, a husband, object. She needs a husband. So we shall emphasize the object with the what clause, and we rewrite and say, what she needs is a husband. What she needs is a husband. So the what clauses are simply putting emphasis on either the subject or the object, and they're very simple. What we should notice that we should retain the tense of the sentence. If it is present tense, most I am afraid it is present tense, that there will be, that is the future, the other side. So what I'm afraid of is that there will be a strike. You need a rest. So the answer will be what you need is a rest, not what you needed. No, you need a rest. The answer would be is a rest. So this is a very simple aspect. We should just pay attention to the tense and pay attention to what is being, what are they putting the special emphasis to, whether it is a subject or, excuse me, the object. So basically that is the what clause. So let us look at some practice here. Let us do some practice. And we are saying here that we write the following sentences using the what clause. We write the following sentences using a what clause. So we have number 1. I deny that I did it on purpose. I deny that I did it on purpose. Oh, someone is going to give us an answer. We can have some hands. Teacher Irene, can you help us pick the hands, please?
Okay, we can have Daphne.
What I deny is that I did it on purpose.
Thank you so much, Daphne. What I deny is the purpose. Thanks a lot. That's very correct. We have number 2. Abu was interested in Kara's art piece. Abu was interested in Kara's art piece.
Okay, we can have Rebecca Faith.
What Abu was interested in was Kara's art piece.
Thank you so much. I like the way you maintain the past tense. What Abu was interested in was Kara's art piece. Beautiful, thank you. Let us have number 3. He's saying that you cannot have development without taxation. He's saying that you cannot have development without taxation. Okay, Teacher Irene, can we have one?
Okay, we can have yes, Irene Bukenya.
What he is saying is that you cannot have development without taxation.
Thank you, Irene. Thanks. Saying is that you cannot have development without. These are actually emphasizing the subject. So let us have the last 3. Oh, hope you can hear me. But telling me my
Yes,
internet is
teacher. Yes.
unstable. All right, let us have number 8. The thought that they may lose money stops them. The thought that they may lose money stops them.
Okay, Trisha Nachitende.
What stops them is the thought that they may lose money.
What stops them is the thought that they may lose money. Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Nachitende. So this time we are saying what stops them. Now the object is the thought that they may lose money. Beautiful. Thanks a lot. Let us go to number 9. The pressure of the air under the wings helps to hold it up. The pressure of the air under the wings helps to hold it up.
Okay, we can have Cynthia.
What helps to hold it up is the pressure of the air under the wings.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot. What helps to hold it up is the pressure of the air under the wings. Lastly, let us look at number 10. She's suffering from loneliness. She is suffering from loneliness.
Okay, we can have Naisinga Patricia.
What she's suffering from is loneliness.
What she's suffering from is loneliness. Beautiful. Thanks, Naisinga. So this time it is the subject. What she's suffering from is loneliness. So this is a very simple aspect, and it's great that we have picked it very fast. We've not handled 4. Teacher Irene, should we handle the 4 or they do the 4 in their books?
We can handle them.
We can handle them. All right. So let us move to number 4. Yes, number 4. I objected to the way it was done. I objected to the way it was done.
Okay, we can have Karakadu.
What I objected to was the way it was done.
Beautiful. What I objected to was the way it was done. Thanks a lot. Then number 5, most people do blame somebody else. Most people do blame somebody else. We can still say most people blame somebody else. Most people do blame somebody else.
Okay, we can have Anne Grace.
What most people do blame is somebody else.
What most people do blame is somebody else. What most people do blame is somebody else. Any other? Thanks for that.
Okay, we can have Michelle Casente.
What most people do is blame somebody else.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. What most people do is blame somebody else. What most people do is blame somebody else. Thanks a lot. That would be the best answer. Thanks. Number 6. The immense size of the town surprised them. The immense size of the town surprised them. Hmm.
Okay, we can have Mwesigwa Jemima.
Mwesigwa, are you there?
What surprised them was that town.
Mwesigwa, your network is not stable.
What surprised them was a message.
I think I picked that. What surprised them was the immense size of the town. Thanks a lot.
What surprised them was a town.
Okay, thank you. That is correct. What surprised them was the immense size of the town. All right. Number 7, her intelligent conversation made her attractive to me. Her intelligent conversation made her attractive to me.
Okay, we can have Namuli Nicole.
What made her
Oh dear.
Oh, Nicole, network. Sorry about that, but thank you.
What made her attractive to me was her intelligent. Made her attractive to me was her intelligent conversation.
Contributing, Letitia. Letitia. Letitia, you can unmute and say something.
I was giving the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
The one for number 7.
Yes.
What made her attractive to me was her intelligent conversation.
Beautiful. What made her attractive to me was her intelligent conversation. That is the right answer. Thank you, all participants. Those were great answers. And that is what we've had for today as far as what clauses are concerned. Over, I think it's back to you, Teacher Irene, in the last 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute, and that 1 minute, I'm just going to thank each and everyone for participating. Thank you so much for always being there. Thank you so much for, okay, I think there are some hands, but I'm going to take 2 only. Esther. Esther?
Excuse me, teacher, could you please repeat number 1?
Number 1, I deny that I did it on purpose. What I deny is that I did it on purpose.
Can you change the tense, or that would be wrong?
It is a present tense, I deny, so we can't change it to past.
Okay,
Let us always maintain a tense.
Okay, thank you so much. We can have Treasure Nisima.
Teacher, why is the answer for number 7? Why isn't it her intelligent conversation made her attractive to me? Sorry, why isn't it her intelligent conversation is what made her attractive?
It depends on the instructions. It is still okay. Her intelligent conversation is what made her attractive to me. It is very okay. They will tell you to write with dash, 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 what, dash, dash, dash. It would be absolutely okay.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Welcome.
Okay, and then lastly, Michelle. Okay, thank you so much. 1 minute passed. I wish you all the best. Never give up.
Teacher, the timetable.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, teacher.
That's it.